You do. You just got to love Pat McAfee. He is unafraid, and he totally understands what the world is about, whether it is him hosting the best show outside of this one, whether it is him making and having the most fun, or whether it is him paying a $150,000 bar tab for the United States hockey team and others after the gold medal winning performance. Pat McAfee totally understands the world, at least as I see it. Pat McAfee Friday told the entire liberal media, including most of his brethren over at ESPN, to suck it. Actually, what he said was, and I'm going to say it, and I got $1 right here for the swear jar, he told them all to eat shit. That's exactly what he told them. He told them to eat shit. That's what he said. That's what he said. I got a lot of dollars here. I'm ready to put them in. It's Lent, and I am swearing anyway. People thought that the U.S. men's hockey team should not have their tab paid for by Pat McAfee, and Pat McAfee basically said, suck it, people. Well, he said more than that. Here is Pat McAfee telling all the woke libs, including most of whom he works with at ESPN, what they should eat for dinner. Here's Pat Mac.
I've learned in the American-Canada disagreements, I somehow find my way in the middle. And the buying of the tab felt like just this is an obvious move.
Oh, yeah.
This is what should happen. Thought somebody else was going to do it. That obviously turns into me being a sexist, racist, everything like that, which is
so absurd.
Really cool. It's really cool that happens by a small amount of people that we cannot let.
They're having a bit of a melter.
Yeah, a lot. Basically every day of their life, seemingly looking for melters to have.
A bit of a melter, yeah.
But we would like to let them know that you will never outweigh the happiness and the unity that sports bring. So you can all eat shit.
Yeah.
That's absolutely right. He ain't wrong about that. Look, in this world, every white guy is sexist, racist, misogynist, whatever you want to say. So you might as well just own it. Of course, none of us are. It's just the slant that is put on us when we celebrate something that the douchebags on the left don't like. And McAfee is absolutely right. He found his way there. Next thing you know, somebody had to pay the bar tab, and he had the means and, well, the want to do it. There is a time in my life that I wish I could do that. Every time I walk into the Alley Bar in Bloomington, Indiana, I buy a round of drinks for everybody. The Alley Bar is this small little pub owned by a friend of mine. And usually there's like 4 people in there. On me! And the guys go, what? Who are you? It doesn't matter. On me. Leave me alone. To be able to do that to the tune of $150,000 and to support the United States men's hockey team and their Olympic gold medal, fantastic. You know what the bags say? Well, you didn't do it for the women. The women, if they were there, he'd have done it for you. Well, it's all white guys. You're racist. Good. Keep saying that. Who cares? It's like a joke now, that kind of nonsense. But hey, it is what it is. But you know, if you want somebody to eat shit the most, I got another $1. I'm loaded up today. Megan Rapinoe, M&M, him. The old angry lesbian strikes again. Crazy-ass Megan Rapinoe had to get her 2 cents in on the United States hockey team, and I love it. I love playing these because I love every time Megan Rapinoe talks. The load of stupid and the load of arrogance, the load of victimhood comes in. Megan, who is America's, I believe, worst human being, nonviolent crime division, had this to say, claiming that, well, the United States hockey team ruined it for themselves because angry lesbians are angry lesbians, and we know likey. Here he is talking about the United States hockey team. Let's hear from him.
United States men's hockey team, in their utter moment of glory, childhood dreams come true, once in a lifetime accomplishment, sensational, ruined it for themselves because they allowed themselves to be totally co-opted. Co-opted, yep.
Co-opted.
By a clown. And now you're a clown. You look like a clown.
They're co-opted. They're cisgender. Whatever other nonsensical words. I'm non-binary. You got co-opted. I'm triggered. Hey, Megan, baby, I know you don't like to, but suck it, would you? Just suck it. I love when that little girl whines. It's fun for me. She's so sad. Have you ever seen a happy old lesbian? Have you? Have you ever seen a lesbian that walks around in their 40s, 50s, 60s, truly happy? You don't. You know what you see angry lesbians with? Short hair, a bad attitude, and a dog. That's exactly what you see them with. Think about it. I saw him yesterday. It's funny. I was at the Illinois State game, and I saw the women's coach got up there, and she tried to inspire the crowd. All right, great, good for her. And then when I looked over, all the lesbians, older women, were up cheering because their leader. And I looked, and they're all sad. They're all angry. I assume they had dogs, but that's what you get with angry lesbians. Short hair, a bad attitude, and a dog. Think about it. Tell me I'm wrong. If you tell me I'm wrong and can prove you find an angry lesbian or an older lesbian that isn't angry, I'll put another $1 in the swear jar. But Pat McAfee did whatever. And you know what? The United States hockey team, while all the angry lesbians are over here yelling and screaming, while all the liberals are over here talking about cisgender and I'm triggered and all the other words, guess what? The United States hockey team's having a ball, and Pat McAfee had a ball with him, and I'm jealous. No, I'm not going to lie. I am jelly. I ain't jelly about Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe scissoring. I don't need to be in the middle of that stank. But I will say this. I am jealous of frickin' Pat McAfee. I'm jealous that Pat McAfee gets to go out, spend $150,000, and celebrate with the United States hockey team. I am. I'm sorry. I am. I'm not upset about it. I'm simply jealous about it. That's how I roll. What are you going to do? I'm not jealous about much. I'm jealous about people with great hair. I am. But I am jealous that Pat McAfee got to do that, and I am jealous that Megan Rapinoe, I want Megan Rapinoe to see this and get so mad at me she has to go on another show with some kind of skull cap and get angry. Because that's what you do, Megan. God bless you, sunshine. Hey, you enjoying the show? Of course you are. How could you not be? Who else says the stuff that we say? And a lot of you all are starting to find out. A lot of you are coming at me saying, Dan, I saw you on Fox News the other day and found your show, and it's refreshing. Hey, I ain't mad at you. It takes a minute to find this kind of greatness. And we're here every day. And all you got to do is head over to youtube.com/@don'tatme with Dan Dakich to like, comment, and subscribe. That way you will never, ever, ever miss any of our great content. The next senator from the great state of Minnesota joins us now, Michele Tafoya. Let's get right into it. How are things going in Minnesota? We got Omar. Minnesota Democrats are mad at Donald Trump for taking out a dictator. How we doing?
I know. Look, the thing in Iran had to happen. We've been tiptoeing around this, dancing around it for close to 50 years. And when they say death to little Satan Israel and death to the big Satan America, they mean it. And the negotiations were not going anywhere, Dan. So there's a certain point where, again, you cannot threaten a red line if you're not willing to cross it. And this president was willing to cross it.
Are you surprised he was willing to cross it? Because we've seen nothing done. And I go back, that's how, remember that show Nightline with Ted Koppel? It started because the Ayatollah Khomeini was hanging Americans in the middle of the squares in Ireland. That show started because of that. It was a nightly thing. So I know what you're talking about when you say darn near 50 years here.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I remember being at the Rose Bowl parade. I think it was 1979. And there were protesters there saying death to the Shah, which at the time the Shah was our friend. I didn't understand any of this then when I was a kid. I understand it very clearly now. Look, I've got friends in Israel who sent a video of them with their small child saying, "What are we doing tonight?" And the little child said, "We're camping." Where are we camping? In the bomb shelter. So this is our best friend in the Middle East, Israel. And they are under constant threat, not only from Iran, but all of their proxies. We've seen it. October 7th was a day that we'll all remember for all the wrong reasons. And we cannot just keep saying, well, let's negotiate. How much longer do you have to negotiate before this country regroups retains and rebuilds its nuclear facilities and is able to strike not only Israel but other of our allies in the region and our interests in the region. So meanwhile, we've got Iranians dancing in the streets in Los Angeles, in New York, in Washington, D.C., and in Iran. And yet, because it's this administration, the left is very upset.
I would argue that we're upside down.
We are.
In sports, we're mad at the United States hockey team, but we celebrate that lady Gu who left her citizenship. And here in the United States, it's like pick a flag. Well, and I believe this. I believe this is all simply hatred towards Donald Trump and literally nothing else. We can't be that stupid, can we?
I guess we can. Some of us can because we're seeing it. I'm not sure, though. Look, that is a very vocal minority, I believe. One of the things I'm finding when I'm traveling to greater Minnesota, which is outside of the cities, right? You have a massive number of conservatives who are thrilled that the hockey team won. They are thrilled about the things going on in foreign policy. So it's a really interesting time. I agree with you about the upside downness of this. When we can't define a woman, we put boys in girls' sports, men in women's sports. When we say parents aren't in charge of raising their own children, when we let perfect become the enemy of the good, when we say that we've taken out this dictator and, this is a terrible thing. Look, I understand the hesitancy because we need to know what's going to come next. We can't know that right at this moment. We hope that there is a plan, and I believe there probably is a good plan of what comes next. But in the meantime, it's this. You're right. It feels like we're in a snow globe and somebody shook it and put it upside down.
I'm going to ask you this. I don't think you have any answers for this, but personally, what is the point of having these big Senate hearings when nothing comes out of it, or these big congressional hearings with, the Clintons were just given a platform to lie like crazy. There seems to be no penalty for perjury. We saw Tim Walz get up there. He couldn't even talk when a woman was. Is it something? Is it Pam Bondi? Do people need to start get arrested? I don't know. I think American people are getting tired of seeing these dramatic hearings, but nothing come of it.
I couldn't agree with you more. And this is not just happening now. We can go all the way back to the IRS scandal where they were, targeting conservative groups. And we had the head of the IRS get up there and take the fifth, and there was absolutely no accountability. We've seen this, and the same people who are not being held accountable, the Tim Walz, the Keith Ellison, the Hillary and Bill Clintons, are the ones saying no one is above the law. And yet they seem to be above the law. So, yeah, I understand people's frustration. These people want public hearings because they can act and be, I'll use the word performative, and be dramatic and maybe raise some money with it. But at the same time, and then they think in the closed door hearings, well, people are just going to leak lies anyway. So this process is what it is. It's the American way. I don't know which one is better, the closed door or the open door, because at least with the open door hearings, Americans can watch and learn and decide for themselves who they think is being honest and who they think is being dishonest. Closed door hearings may have more of a sense of productivity, but nobody gets to see it, and all you get to rely on are leaks. So it's sort of a damned if you do, damned if you don't. But yes, indeed, our Department of Justice, particularly this new head of the fraud, sort of the fraud czar, along with J.D. Vance, they need to hold people accountable. You would be, Dan. I would be. In our jobs, we would.
That's what has me frustrated. Like I said this many times on many different shows. I thought the Republicans made a mistake even deposing Bill and Hillary Clinton, because when you get up there and you say, I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Monica Lewinsky, in front of the whole country, you're not afraid to lie about anything, anytime, anywhere. And so what they got was their lies on record, despite overwhelming evidence. I love Josh Hawley, Ted Cruz, John Kennedy going at people, But at some point, there has to be some type of consequence for people, like you said, that are not doing right by us and then getting up there and lying about it, Michelle. I can't stand it.
Well, perjury is illegal for a reason, right? And so hold people accountable for it. It's supposed to be. And it does. It's very frustrating. And I hear it from people all over the place. When are we going to see perp walks? When are we going to see people in handcuffs? And it seems like that's so taboo to say, like, oh my gosh, you want someone to... Well, you know what? Yeah, we do. We want to know that when people steal from us, when they lie to us, when they cheat, when they mislead us for their own personal gain of power, we're the Americans who hired them, who elected them. We want accountability from these people. So, yeah, you can hold them accountable at the voting booth. But then I know people are frustrated, too, because we don't even have voter ID. So they're thinking, well, my vote doesn't count. I want to assure people right now who think their vote doesn't count, it still does. It still does. Otherwise, we wouldn't have the president that we have right now. If you trusted all the polls and you listened to all the loud people on the left, you would have thought Kamala Harris was going to win. She didn't win. So your vote does matter. Keep voting.
Well, yeah, and elections have consequences. And you know, you mentioned the minority. I'm listening to athletes, and like Megan Rapinoe and some of these folks, and I'm thinking to myself, man, what's in it? Like, what's in it for somebody to just, you know, be critical all the time of an administration that seems to be working for us? If you don't think your vote matters, think about where we were. We had naked transvestites. We had cocaine in the White House. We had open immigration. We had inflation at 10%, gas prices at $4. I mean, if you think your vote doesn't matter, you're out of your freaking mind.
Yeah, wages are ticking up. You know, Dan, if I can for a second, I want to tell people to try to remember that we've got guys, and we've just lost 4 of them, guys and gals, men and women, fighting for us and for freedom and for the freedom of the Iranians right now. They're putting their lives on the line for this country. If they can do that, we can each do a little bit. And part of that at this moment is being a little bit patient for what's going to come next. I know everyone wants to see a windfall of cash. We're all, used to getting stuff in an app delivered in an instant, a car showing up at an instant.
Right.
We've got to, as Americans who love this country and see other people giving up life and limb for us, we've got to be willing to give up just a little bit of our own personal luxuries right now as these things get worked out. We see gas prices coming down. They're down in Minnesota. I'm sorry, California, you've got a governor who's taxing the crap out of you. So, they're not down in California. They're about $1.50 a gallon higher in California than any other state on average. So I can't help you there in California. But and if you want to see that nationwide, then you'll vote for Gavin Newsom in 2028. In the meantime, they're coming down. Wages are ticking up. Eggs are way down. People love to talk about the price of eggs. I look at them every single week when I go to the store. They're down. We need to show a modicum of patience and remember that there are people who are doing a whole lot more for this country than we are ever going to do. And we need to thank them. We need to appreciate them, and we need to do our part.
One of the things I want to get your thoughts on relative to the media is people say, well, when's Donald Trump's son going to enlist in the war? He's sending the men and women, sons and daughters of other people. My answer to that is, people know. And if you talk to military folks, they know what they signed up for. They signed up they wanted, they've trained for this. So, I get it. It's like the new liberal slant.
Yeah.
Is, well, when's Barron? That's garbage. That's nonsense. People that signed up and doing exactly what you said understand exactly what they signed up for and embrace what they signed up for.
When a senator like Tina Smith, who's leaving this seat in Minnesota, comes out and says we're unnecessarily putting our troops in harm's way. Troops are put in harm's way from the minute they enlist or join because training can be harmful. Training can be risky. And all those 32,000 Iranians who were killed mowed down in the streets of Tehran and elsewhere in Iran. What about them? It's really amazing to me, the selective outrage of people. Like that didn't even happen. You haven't heard anything from the left about these thousands and thousands of innocent Iranians who were trying to stand up, who simply got mowed down in the streets for their beliefs. And yet somehow they don't matter? I'm confused by that. All of the women who say they are pro-women, are you standing up for these women in Iran who have had acid thrown in their faces? Come on.
I always say this, know at least a little bit. Like if you're going to bitch, whine, and moan, know at least a little bit about what the hell you're talking about. I mean, that's to me the most ridiculous thing is women out here saying we shouldn't do. Wait, what? Do you know anything about what's going on? Anything at all?
Well, and maybe look beyond your TikTok feed.
A little bit, yeah. Hey, this segment is brought to you by Outkick, man. This is the ultimate college hoops experience. It is the biggest night in college hoops, and it's coming right back here to Indianapolis, where it belongs, in my opinion. Outkick is sending one lucky fan and a guest straight into the building, and we got you covered for an unforgettable experience. Flights covered. Downtown hotel covered. Championship tickets covered. Go to Outkick.com/sweepstakes and get in on all of the action. Let's go right to stock up, stock down. Hoops division. Let's do it. Hey, stock up. Duke, Arizona, and Michigan. They are separating themselves, and I'm going to throw a couple more in there. UConn struggled a little bit, but I'm putting them in there, and I'm putting Florida in there as well. Florida's won 9 straight, and, man, they just obliterated. They absolutely obliterated Arkansas and my boy. There you go. March is here. We're ready for the madness. That's stock up as well. I know this. The thing about this is I know that March this week, next week, are my two favorite. And then March Madness, I know you all get excited for the tournament, and I do the first 2 rounds. But I love all-day hoops. There's something about a noon game on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, or Friday that makes me hearken back to skipping school. I never really skipped school. Like, I didn't go to Wrigley Field where a lot of people went on opening day, but it feels like it. It feels like when you got a day off from school and you and your buddies are riding to the park and you're going to play baseball, basketball, whatever. That's how it feels like to me, and it's the best day ever for gamblers. By the way, I do think I have these 5 teams. I have Arizona. I think Duke's playing the best. I think the best team still is Michigan. I think Arizona's right there with them. I think Florida is actually playing better than anybody. They're the hottest. It's amazing. I'm putting UConn in there because I ain't betting against Danny Hurley. We got a little bit. U.S. and Israeli Air Forces created a beautiful new parking lot in Tehran. I mean, stock up to the United States. Pete Hegseth doing an amazing job. Sad, we lost a few of our servicemen, and that certainly is sad. But you know what? God dang it. The United States has taken it and taken it and taken it. Negotiations fell apart. Next thing you know, you had to do what you had to do. Very, very sad, the loss of lives, and I will never, ever, ever shortchange that. They're in my prayers, hopefully yours as well. Stock down, Detroit Pistons score, table malfunction, and the horn went off for 13 straight minutes. We're not playing this because this will make you crazy. But you know what? We got these billion-dollar buildings, and we can't get a horn to go off. It's amazing. It's unbelievable. Incredible. I don't want to hear it. I think, sounds like that make me nuts. I don't know. Maybe I have a sensitivity. I don't know all the right words, but I think anybody would lose their mind, a horn going off for 13 minutes. We can hear things and get used to hearing those things, but not a horn going off for 13 minutes. Now, who didn't see this happen? Chad Baker-Mazara got dismissed from USC back in November when my son's Illinois State team played USC. He came back. He goes, man, are they good? Are they talented? But are they crazy? And that thing's going to implode. And somebody, if not more, they're going to get kicked off the team. Everybody saw this coming. It's always the same people, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, stock down. California's insanely high taxes moved free agent pitcher Merrill Kelly to turn down an offer from the San Diego Padres and signed with the Arizona Diamondbacks. I don't blame him. People think that if you're a professional athlete, you make life-changing money. And a lot of times, maybe most times you do, but the great Isaiah Thomas told Coach Knight and I back a long time ago when he was the head of the NBA Players Association, what young kids don't understand in the NBA is 52 cents on every dollar is gone by the time you get your check. So you buy all these houses, all these cars, thinking you're making $10 million when, in fact, take 52 away. $5.2 million is already taken away. It's a lot of money you're making, no question. But as we all know in the financial world, it ain't what you make, it's what you spend. Good for this kid. He's smart. Hey, disturbing news once again. We're done with stock up, stock down. Now we're going to headlines. Disturbing news once again is Michigan, the most corrupt football program in the history of college football, has more controversy. Former University of Michigan assistant coach, he's a defensive line coach, LaTroy Lewis, became the latest former coach of Jim Harbaugh's staff to get accused of violent sexual assault as the Ann Arbor police investigation remains active and ongoing, while also alleging former head coach Sharon Moore knew about it. He knew and was aware of the sexual assault and refused to report it. 2 weeks after the Falcons hired former Michigan assistant coach LaTroy Lewis, the organization fired him on Friday amid a sexual assault investigation centering around his time at Ann Arbor and under former head coach Sharon Moore. It's alleged that, LaTroy Lewis sent lewd messages to the woman who he met through an online dating app, which then led to a reported sexual assault at the Weber Inn Hotel in Ann Arbor, December of 2024. It also alleged in the report from Darko State News that LaTroy Lewis started to track the location of the woman while also threatening to kill her in a very long text message. It was then in December 2024 that the two finally met for the first time in person, where the woman claims that Lewis physically and sexually assaulted her after coming to her hotel after the assumption of returning items she had bought him. It's including golf clubs and an electronic device. This is all very weird. This is all going to be sorted out in court in depositions maybe prior to, but this is very, very odd to me. This whole thing is very weird. The report stated that the woman, listen to this, then reached out to former head coach Sharon Moore through Snapchat, where she told him that she was sexually assaulted by Lewis. It's alleged by the woman that Moore did not turn those complaints over to Title IX officers, which is how these events should be handled at the University of Michigan. Following these incidents, it's alleged that Sharon Moore sent messages to the woman asking her to come to his hotel to perform oral sex. The alleged incident was noted by Darko State News with pictures of the communication. Here this is. This is Paul Corliss, a Michigan Assistant Vice President for Public Affairs. These allegations are deeply concerning. We've noted the university launched an investigation of the circumstances and conduct leading to Sharon Moore's firing, as well as a broader cultural review of the athletic department. We continue to urge anybody with relevant information to reach out to the law firm conducting the investigation at umconcerns@jenner.com. The work is ongoing. We will be able to share more when it is complete. A lot of people dismiss this report, but apparently the vice president for University Affairs, the assistant vice president for public affairs in the University of Michigan, has taken this very, very seriously. It's just the latest in a long line of assistant coaches. I mean, they've got their the offensive coordinator indicted by a grand jury for stealing not only practice plans from other schools via the computer, but also photos of co-eds at other schools. They've got a low-level staffer who was arrested for attempting to hook up with an underage minor, and this guy was wearing his gear. There have been numerous complaints against Moore and others of sexual assault. Davey, I'm going to bring Davey in here. Davey, you know this guy Lewis. I think you went to college with him. Give me your thoughts when this all came out. Give me something here.
Yeah,
what do you think?
So Troy and I were both freshmen at Tennessee in 2012. He was on the football team there, played defensive end. I lived in the football dorm, or the athletic dorm at UT, and we were right across the hall from each other, played NCAA football constantly. And listen, I was surprised when I heard the allegations come out. I really, truly hope that something's been made up. These are not true. Let the justice system play itself out. But it's one of those things, Dan, when you look at everything that's going on with Michigan, it just seems like there's more and more that just keeps being uncovered. And it's just a sad sight all around.
Yeah, the whole thing seems odd to me. They met, they went on a dating site, something happened. She bought him golf clubs, and this whole thing is very, very odd to me, Davey. I mean, you're a lawyer. What are your thoughts on not necessarily who did what to whom, but the whole, timeline as I just read it there, Davey?
Yeah, as it relates to the timeline, it's one of those things to where if there were situations, it sounds as though the relationship continued, and then it eventually got to a point to where the victim here just kind of had enough and said, all right, I'm done, and then decided to unleash everything all at once in terms of what all was happening. As it relates to the validity of it, I mean, the Falcons obviously thought they had enough information and enough evidence to just go ahead and fire Troy from his position there that he just had started within the last couple of months. So they obviously have been able to do a lot more digging and due diligence. So they're where there's smoke, there's usually fire, Dan.
Yeah, the other weird part, and I read this story, apparently now, allegedly, or apparently, whatever you want to use, during halftime of the Iowa State-Michigan game, Sharon Moore, as the head coach, is Snapchatting, texting this woman. I got to tell you, Davey, I was a head coach for 10 years, and not one time at halftime did I think anything other than, how the hell are we going to win this game? This was very odd to me too, Davey. The whole thing is ridiculously weird to me.
No, it is. And I mean, the Snapchat is, as far as communicating to somebody through Snapchat, that doesn't make much sense to me, because for a lot of the times too, when you send a snap, that information can go away to where it's not like it stays there on your phone and you go back and you see it. A lot of that stuff just disappears after, you open it or what have you. So the fact that was a way of communication is just odd to me. But I mean, I do know some people that use it that way, but it doesn't make sense if you have such a serious allegation that you're going to essentially, somebody could go to prison for years. That's the way to communicate this.
Yeah, I don't understand Snapchat. It's one of the social media apps that I've refused to get involved in because I got too many going on right now. But back to your original point, innocent until proven guilty. We all get that. But man, the Atlanta Falcons fired this guy. So, Davey, when you read this, what's the next step here?
In terms of just the judicial process?
Legal step. I'm sorry. Yeah, what's the legal step?
So, as of right now, I mean, it's just we wait and see if charges get filed. I mean, right now, there's not been any criminal charges filed to my knowledge. So that would be the next step. Everything right now at this point has been claimed as it's on the civil side. I don't even know if she's filed to where it's I'm expecting what the recourse to be. So it's just wait and see if there's going to be charges filed.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna stay on it. It's amazing. Hey, guess what? We got some YouTube comment reaction. We like the comment reaction because it's fun. It's interactive. And if we don't like you, we get to make fun of you and you can't even rebut it. It's my show. Your comments come to me and I put them back on you. Let's see here. I got to put my glasses on because, today my right eye is acting up. Some days it acts up. Some days it doesn't act up. Hey, Dan, this is from In-Day Waffles, 7074. An all-time stage photo op is what you're going to get because we're the best in the world at it. To hell with the actual details of any multi-billion-dollar deal. Did the jabronis plaster on the fake smiles in front of the camera and say cheese? That's about Donald Trump's sports roundtable. I'll say this to you. The people that I know that are going, Urban Meyer, Scott Dolson, they're not about photo ops. They're about that action, boss. They are. Maybe it is a photo op. But see, file this in Dane Waffles. File this under no good deed goes unpunished. Trump said, and he listened. He listened first, and then he said, let's do something about it. What did he listen to? He listened to the people that said, the coaches, the athletes, everybody, the broadcasters that said, we need guardrails on NIL in college sports. We need guardrails on transfer portal. So what Trump do? He got smart. He got billion-dollar NBA owners. He got college presidents. He got college athletic directors, coaches, and bring them into a room and see if they can come out with something. See, at least it's an attempt. I get it, little waffles guy. I get it. You're a cynic. We're all cynics. But the truth of the matter is, if you're going to do something, you might as well bring in the best people. And the people that are arguing, there's no current college athletes. No, this isn't the time for current college athletes. This isn't the time for DEI. This isn't the time for groups. If you want to get something done, I don't care whether you're black, white, green, purple, young, old, whatever you are. I want you to be a serious person, get in that room, and see if you can come up with something. If you can't, hey, it's status quo, but it's a big swing, and I ain't mad at it. Hey, Dan, we're making friends on the other side of the globe. This is Shez D2405 from Western Australia. Wow. Hey, down under. I don't have a good accent for that. Wish I did. Anyway, thank you for your honest opinions and commentary. Well, that's what they pay me. Look, I say things others won't. You know, at this stage in my life, what are you going to do to me? What? I've had articles written on me saying I'm a bad guy. I've had videos made of me saying I'm a bad guy. What you got? My kids love me. My family loves me. I love the group that I work with. What are you going to do? I got a swear jar that I'm taking over to St. Simon. It's filling up rapidly, and I'm not happy about it. But anyway, thank you for your compliment, and we will continue unabated to do what we do, which is bring you fresh takes, yo, and the hottest, honest commentary that there is. But first, ladies and gentlemen, you must shoot your best shot with Prize Picks. That's right, I said it, and I meant it. Get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5 lineups. That's right. Prize Picks giving you $50 in lineups when you sign up, play your first $5 lineups. Prize Picks makes every dunk, every dime, every board that much more exciting. And by the way, we are headed into what I think to be the most fun 2 weeks of the year. Conference tournaments start this week, which means hoops upside the damn head. Every day, all day, starting in the afternoon. It's my favorite 2 weeks of the year, and Prize Picks is right there for you. Simple to play. Pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. Get your picks right, you cash in. Pick from all your favorite sports: baseball, basketball, hockey, UFC, soccer, college basketball, tennis, golf, esports, more. Prize Picks, how you play is up to you. If you want flexibility, choose Flex Play, where you can get paid even if your picks miss. Wow, that's pretty good. And if you want the biggest payouts, go to Power Play. No matter your play, Prize Picks is a great way to put your takes to the test. Download the Prize Picks app today. Do it. And that's code DAKICH. Get 50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it is good to be right. Hey, woke-a-dope me, baby. Woke-a-dope. Woke-a-dope, woke-a-dope. We got woke and we got dope. All right, let's see. A good wins for China. U.S. media turns her into a hero and the face of Time magazine. Remember, Ms. Gu, she was the one that took millions of dollars from China, allegedly, and renounced her citizenship. The boys on the right win for the United States. The media turns them into a villain for being patriotic. My God, what is wrong with us here in this country? Well, it's not us. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Anyway, the United States men's hockey team absolutely are the people of the year. I don't care whether Time magazine makes them so or not. I'm making them so. And Gu is the traitor of the year. Yeah, she's hot. Who cares? I mean, I've said this forever. You know, same thing with men, same thing with women, no different. My wife told me one time, yeah, man, when she was single, she went on a date with this really good-looking dude, you know, and about 2 minutes in, she's like, yeah, I got to go to the bathroom. She gone. C33 over in Walnut Knolls when I was in college. Hot. Started dating her. Next thing you know, I'm like, hey, you know, I got to go. Anyway, Gu, gone. USA hockey forever. Next. Gu, gone. Hey, Donald, we cool, right? You know what I say? He looks like he's lost that middle hair part then, but anybody over 30 or 40, actually, I think it was, with the middle hair part is nuts. But yeah, you know, that North Korean dictator, he's like got his head on a swivel because he's trying to get those nukes too. And we saw what happened. Obama and Biden gave him cash. Guess what? Trump gave him hell. Literally, sent the man to hell. The Ayatollah. Isn't it amazing the similarities between 1979, Jimmy Carter presidency, and the Joe Biden presidency? It's been a long time since we heard about the Ayatollah. Man, oh man. Well, guess what? Iranian people are free, and United States people are bitching about it. It's amazing. They're dancing in the streets in Iran, and they're pissed off here in the United States. What a world. Next! For my next trick, I'll make Democrats support Iran. I'm going to speak about this here in last thing. It is absolutely stunning to me. Stunning. Last thing. You know, it's actually pure comedy right now what liberals are trying to do, whether it is Bernie Sanders bitching, whining, and moaning about Donald Trump going at Iran and saying nothing at all when Barack Obama went at. And where is old Barry anyway? Barry is scrambling. You know, his faithful leader, the Ayatollah of Iran, who he gave $1.7 billion to, got eliminated. Barry's figuring it out. Barry Obama and his minions are scrambling. How can we spin this? How can we make this good? We need another word salad speech. Now, the truth of the matter is Donald Trump has done more for our country and other countries than any president in the history of the United States, at least in my lifetime. And I will say this. Those liberals that are saying, well, we don't need another war. You said the same thing about Venezuela. Let me ask you a question. How's that war going? What's happening in that war? The answer, nothing. Venezuelan people are happy as hell. Maduro is in custody. Same thing, except a little more extreme in Iran. The Ayatollah, he gone. Women are taking off their burqas or whatever the hell you call it. And next thing you know, people are dancing in the street at Iran, but Bernie Sanders and all his little minions are mad. Why are they mad? One reason and one reason only. Has nothing to do about Iran, has nothing to do about the United States. It simply has to do with their dislike of Donald Trump and their desire to maintain their political position and their power. Trump has said to hell with that. To hell with all of that. We're going to do what's best for the United States. And boy, did he ever. Good for us that we have a leader like that. Good for us that we have not given in to the BS that comes with the liberal party. It's truly amazing that liberals are now supporting a dictatorship that was murderous of hundreds of thousands of people. It wasn't that long ago when liberals marched. What was the name of the march? No dictators, no kings. Now you're celebrating a dictator. All I ever heard was Donald Trump was a dictator. We don't want dictators. Now Trump toppled the dictator, and now you're celebrating dictators. It would be funny if it weren't so sad. Here's Bernie. Vietnam, Iraq, Iran, another lie, another war. Let's see. Is it really another war? Venezuela wasn't. The rhetoric is tired. Trump, you do you, and I'm right here with you. See you tomorrow.